I once described these as hand condoms. Hello internet, my name is Rhys and today we are going to do knitting. I know, such a grandma. Anyone who knows me knows that I knit quite a lot, and I knit a lot of scarves, like so. These can be found at Just a Minute on Etsy and Instagram. Totally not plugging my own shop. But I know that it can be really boring while being at home during this time, so I thought, what a better way to get creative than to start a new hobby? I have to wear these gloves because of my joints. I'm not wearing them to be cool. They are really not cool gloves. I'm going to teach you stuff like how to cast on, different kind of stitches, and it's going to be hopefully a lot of fun. For example, I've been knitting this. That's an ongoing project. So I've got a set or two. Any knitting you want to start doing, go to a local store if you can. There should be ones in the big supermarket chains, but if not, sorry. Rainbow tote. This is also the project that I featured in my introduction. It's a small project, but it's getting there. It's something that you can do when watching TV, and this wool is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, I love it. So I've been knitting this, I like to call Mermaidia scarf. Now I know how the people on Tasty feel like. This is so fun. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is pick out your needle. The length is quite important because it depends whether it's a multifunctional needle or whether it's just a one bug type stand needle. The width also helps because, for example, if you're wanting to make a thin scarf, you're going to need a quite thin needle. But if you want to create a large scarf or a thicker scarf with thicker wool, you're going to need a thicker needle. Also, a lot of the wool will have needle suggestion sizes. For example, this has 8 to 7. So that's what we're going to use today. We're going to use a 7mm. This is a nice grey wool. It's a good starter wool, so we're going to use that. Casting on is easy. So take your wool and you're going to take a nice length and then you're going to make a loop about 2 fingers width. For now, you can make it smaller if you wish, or even adjust the positioning of the loop like so. And then I'm going to make it big so that you can see. We're going to take this part of the wool, wrap it round and pull it underneath like a knot, like so. So you've got the loop and it's got a loop wrapped around it, and then you're just going to tighten it like so. Get one of your needles and put it on, and then just tighten it up to the needle point, but not too tight because obviously you've got to get the other needle underneath there. Now, casting on, you can do about between 15 and 25 is a recommended stitch for me. That's my personal opinion. Other people will say differently, and it also depends what you make. Let's pretend we're making a scarf. So, here we have our yarn, or wool, depending on where you come from. I'm going to take a little bit and do a thumbs up pose. So, we're really happy because we're knitting, yay! I know my thumb is weird. People will say my thumb's weird, my hands are weird, I'm sorry. These are the hands that I'm born with. So then we're just gonna go underneath, like the thumb is ducking, and then we're gonna take this, go underneath the duck, pull the thumb out, pull the string. It's that simple, and you can do that for about 15. So let's do it again. Thumbs up because we like knitting. Thumb is ducking, needle ducks, thumb comes out, it is pulled. People might liken it to a club setting, how to pull in a club. So if this helps as a memory, let's do that. So thumbs up because we're at a club. A lad makes an advance. The lass dodges it. The lad is rejected. The night goes on. Hopefully that helps. I've only done 10 stitches as this is a tutorial. I'm not gonna make a scarf from this wool just yet. So, this is what it looks like. It looks a bit weird, and trust me, it will feel a little bit weird, but it'll be okay. So, this is where the other needle comes in handy. So, normally for the first stitch, I don't usually stitch it because it will have just been stitched from the other row. So we're just going to do that, and then the second one. So we want this needle to go underneath the other loop, like so. It goes underneath, and then we take this yarn or wool, wherever you come from, we pull it over like so. So it's creating a loop underneath a loop. And then we want this needle to dodge underneath so that this loop is prominent now with this string, and then you just kind of slide it off. And that's a normal stitch. So let's do it again. Let's use another club analogy. Girl goes to a bar, boy buys a drink, girl says no thanks, rejected. Let's do it again. Girl goes to a bar, boy buys a drink, girl says no thanks, rejected. It's quite a heteronormative thing from a non-binary person. Oh well. This is the original knot because it's not actually a stitch. And kablam! So here we have, on this one, another. Ta-da! If you do this, it should hopefully look like this when it's done. You can see with the ridges, if you don't knit the first one, it kind of carries across quite nice and it creates a nice kind of binding and outline. Now I'm going to teach you the backward stitch. It's very weird and awkward, but you can do it, and I believe in you. So, let's say this is our scarf again. So with this needle, instead of going underneath like you would with a normal one, well, first things first, first stitch goes across. It's not stitched because we've just stitched it. So then instead of going underneath like you would for a normal one, like so, you go over the top. So it's like you're knitting from the underside, and then you loop it round, and then you tug hard on this to make sure it doesn't come undone, but you go underneath, dodge, like so, and cast off. I'll do it again so that everyone can see. So over the top, this goes around. You have to pull a bit tighter on the wool just because otherwise it just seems like you're just pulling that off. So pull tighter on the wool. Underneath, oh, see? That's what happens when you do that, when you don't pull tight on the wool. Just very cleverly demonstrated, totally not a mistake. And there you have it. That is the other way to knit. Then there's the cross stitch, which is really weird. So the cross stitch, again, I'm going to take this one and just move it to here. We're going to stitch a normal stitch, and then the next stitch is the other one, the abnormal stitch. I like to call this the cross stitch or the under over. So you go under and then you go over. The stitch that I'm about to teach you, it normally curls in like this, so it becomes a very chewy scarf. But it's still quite nice and it can be quite thick. Now this is the backward stitch. So stitch this like normal. Again, over. Let's just quickly stitch a row. So we've just done a normal stitch, but instead of swapping, because that's what you normally do, it's going to stay on this needle. So we just, again, swap it, and then from this side, go underneath like so. That. Sometimes a finger will help. Underneath. Round here, off. Now casting off is easy. So you knit the first 2 stitches like normal. So jump 1 stitch, and let's just go the other one there. You go underneath this one, the first one, here. So we've done 2 stitches. You want to go underneath the first one on this needle, drag it over the top and off. Let's stitch another one. So we're gonna, oh my god, it's because it's so small. And it's done. Stitch another one. Gonna need my hands to help. There we go. Sometimes having nails does work. So that's how you cast off. As you can see, only 1 stitch is remaining, and this is just looking like it's been cast off. And that is how you cast off. And that is how to knit. Subscribe for more weird content. If you liked this video, please like, comment and subscribe. If you like having scarves and wool, please do go to Etsy and support my shop. It's called Just a Minute. I'll put a link in the description. As well as scarves, I finger knit butterflies, and I make friendship bracelets, which is always really fun. These keep me a little bit saner during these times. Finger knitting is easy, I'll show you in a different video, but thank you for watching. Have a good night. Oh, this is not for kids.